how sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal, HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. We are so happy to have all of you here today. We have, again, one of my favorites, one of the legends, one would say one of the legacy drivers, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Dwight, Brian Legacy, is in the house today. So pumped to talk to him. I always feel like energized before I talk to him, during the conversation, after the conversation. I just want to like run through a wall, bench press a truck. I don't know, maybe I should do that on a regular basis. But he just gets me to that next level. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, if you are new to the channel, this is what we do. We sit back, we relax on a Thursday evening, 8:15-ish, as Anthony wanted to shout out there. Heavy on the ish tonight. Yes, it is heavy on the ish. 8:15-ish, we just, hang out, talk nerd shop, talk about what it is you want to talk about. I know that at one point Dwight messaged me about buying a figure or two, so I'm not sure if he fully dove into that realm, but we'll ask him about that. If you've got any questions about Brian Legacy to him, questions in general, put it in the chat. If you got a YouTube channel, a podcast, a blog, a vlog, an OnlyFans, a newsletter, smoke signals, any of the above or anything else, put it in the chat. Support one another, plug yo shit. And of course, if you're here on YouTube, drop a like while you're here, drop a subscribe. If you're ever so kind, you can also join the Nerd Foundation. Link down below for that. Or hell, even a super chat to help pay for some of the beverages that we have on this very show. But I'm so pumped, again, to talk to him. And as I say every week, without further ado, bringing the man, the myth, the legend himself, the legacy one, Dwight of Brian Legacy.
What's up, fam? How you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm over here. I apologize to everyone, man. I'm on dad duty tonight. Speaking of legacy, hey, look, I live it. So I'm
There you
here
go.
with my daughter at volleyball practice, man, and just want to step out, but I could not miss the opportunity to hang out with my boy, man. So
I love that.
I love everything that he puts out. I am a nerd, bro. So I am nerd affiliated, man. And ever since I met you, bro,
Yeah.
I tell everyone, you make it cool to be nerdy. So
Wow, look at that. Checks in the mail, my friend. Checks in the mail. I appreciate that. You are a loyal member of the foundation. You're here every week in the chat, in the replay chats, on Instagram, on everything. You are literally everywhere. So, including at your daughter's volleyball practice. So you are, as you said, embracing the legacy, embracing the nerddom by being here, even when you could have just said, "Hey, I'll call back next time." But I appreciate you, sir.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
man. What's up, family? Shucks, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited, man, to be in the building with you guys, bro. So
I love that. Yeah. We'll say hi to everybody real quick. So of course I showed at the top there, General Kenobi in the house, Senior Josh in the house, Sal is in the house, Hobbies with Jose in the house, got Mark, one late night man in the house, and the Scooby Life. You guys are all early. You guys are early to practice here. I'm the late one. There you go. So as I do every time that you're on the show, anytime any guest is on the show, I want to just take a minute or two and just give you the floor in case these people have been living under a rock. Tell them, what is the Grind Legacy?
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man, and kudos to the website. But what Grind Legacy is in 2015, I went through a really rough patch of my life, man. From everything to loss of loved ones to, marital to questioning fatherhood to my kids. It was just a rough time for me. But instead of balling up in a ball in a hole somewhere, I seen an opportunity to pull myself up by my bootstraps, man, lock in, and change my future.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, man, I basically looked at my kids one day after pulling a long day in a on a concrete site, man, on a construction site, and I was just challenged. It was an audible voice just saying, "Hey, look, you know, why am I going through this, man? I'm a college graduate, former collegiate athlete in two sports, man. Did pretty good, played at every level except college. I mean, professional." And I was like, man, I work for some Fortune 500 companies. I was like, man, why am I out here pulling, doing construction?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that kept sticking out that my kids needed to see this. So what I failed to mention is on that job site, I had a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old on that job site for 14 hours
Damn.
in a 2004 Ford Explorer. They never complained once. And basically, I was like, well, my kids need to see me go through this so they know their dad will be willing to do anything. He'll be willing to do whatever it takes to create the legacy he can be proud of, right? So I put it on the shirt, man. A couple of friends, got excited. Gym people, entrepreneurs, they got it, right? And then it evolved, because while I was in that hole, I started doing a few things that changed the trajectory of my future. The first thing is, I was in construction. I got my college degree and everything, but I was like, what is it that I need to do to push through this? So the first thing I had to do was educate myself. What jobs were out there? How can I get a mentor? What's on YouTube? What can I read to get out of this funk that I'm in? So I educated myself. The next thing I did was execute the plan. I made a system, created a system to get me out of this. And what I mean by that is, as far as my job, I got laid off. So I was like, all right, I can fill out some jobs online and Indeed. I can go to these places and get some on-site training for something new that I want to do. I just made myself marketable, right? The next thing I did was like, all right, I had gained some weight. I guess some partial depression there. So I need to lose some weight. So I came up with a workout plan and executed it, right? So I educated myself and executed the plan. The next thing I did was endure the process. I was like, all right, I'm in this funk. I know it's not going to change overnight, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes not to feel like this again. So I endured it. And I kept on, kept on, kept on, kept on, right? So I found myself getting out of that hole, got the career that I wanted. I was able to move my family and I to Oklahoma City, man, and create a new life, a new beginning for me and my family. And lastly, what I did was empower. Is what I'm doing right now and sharing with you guys. I was able to start doing some speaking, created this brand, like I said, this clothing, to basically say failure is necessary, not quitting. There's a difference, right? The way I look at failure is a testing of your dreams. That is it, right? If everybody got whatever they wanted, how do you know you accomplished your goals, right? So put it on a shirt. Friends got it. Uh, Fast forward, man. Some friends of mine, some pretty, influential friends of mine, I should say, um, tuned in and they were like, "Hey, man, I see what you're doing. I get the message. This is what I'm living every single day." So I got a couple of brand ambassadors. We started pushing the brand a little bit, and now we're in a couple of gyms as far as our apparel. Obviously, on the website we have our apparel as well, and also have some new things coming up that we can dive back into later. But that's what Grind Legacy is in a nutshell. Whatever your grind is, whatever it is, single parent, YouTube creator, content creator, whatever it is, your grind is your grind. And whatever that means is, are you willing to create the legacy you can be proud of? No matter what. No matter what. So,
I tell you, every time, man, every single freaking time you come in the clutch, that speech, even though I know the story, I know the backstory because you've been on a couple times, it hits
yeah,
different every time. Every single time it hits different. And
nice.
everything that you stand for, everything that you say, you actually do, you practice what you preach, which, for a lot of people that's hard. But
Yeah.
yeah, failure is a test to your dreams. That I mean, that's another shirt right there. Like, because it's not one of those that like you just wear because you're like, oh, it's a cool saying. Like, it's true. And
Yeah.
if you believe it, you start to see the benefits of failure almost. It's a weird
Absolutely.
thing.
Abs-
It's a weird double edged sword that failing and maybe even losing ends up, um, you know, being a better scenario for you. Um,
Hey, and just look at it this way. And this is not anything that I'm making up, right?
mhm.
Just look at all of the greats in any field. If it's producing with Tyler Perry's, if it's creating a business with the Elon Musk, the Steve Jobs, the Jeff Bezos, everybody knows their story. It's almost like if you didn't sleep in a car, you're not going to be successful. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Steve Harvey, all these guys slept in their garages, slept in the car, and it's just basically the brand is a paradigm shift, right? I look at it like this as well, even in the good times, right? Now, my life is awesome right now. I have no complaints, man.
Mhm.
But I know at some point it's going to get rough,
Yeah.
right? So you
It
start
has to.
to prepare yourself mentally, physically. You just like, it's going to get bad at some point, but can I handle it, right?
Hmm.
Same thing when it's going bad. You gotta be is there has to be a switch that you can say, even though as bad as it is, it's going to get better. The good news is the way the good Lord broke this thing down that we have minutes, hours, and days where your tomorrow don't have to be anything like your yesterday, right? It could be totally different. How many people have we spoken to or came across via, TV or television or whatever that started off the first 30 years poor and then the next 30 years filthy rich?
Hmm.
Not saying money is everything, but we live in America, so that's very well possible, right? So,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
It's so true. It's funny. I always people always share on Instagram, like Morgan Freeman, like didn't get his first acting role till like 40, or like this person didn't do this thing until whatever age. The one that always sticks in my head though was Jason Statham was selling watches on the street, and I mean he was a college collegiate swimmer, like no bum really by any stretch, but times are tough, whatever. And
Yeah.
again, if I'm getting the story correct, and Guy Ritchie was walking down the street, saw him, and was like, I feel like I want to use you in this movie I'm doing called Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. And that was it. That was it. He was
Wow.
just, but it wasn't like, he was seeking it. Like he wasn't out there every day, which we're not knocking that either. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do until eventually that opportunity shows up and you're like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll roll with it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know?
They keep it nerd affiliated. Did you know the actor that plays M'Baku?
Mm-hmm.
That that the Black Panther movie was the first movie he ever was in.
Yeah, that was crazy. As you were saying it, the second you said it, I was like, oh wait, yeah, he's another one that
Come
crazy.
on now, man.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite actors and only been in two movies.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
more than two movies, but
Well, now it's
two
been more than two,
mainstream
but
movies. Right.
like that's
Right.
your
Right.
first one out of the gate. Out
Out
of
of
the
the
gate.
game. $1 billion movie, right?
It's like,
So,
yeah.
but no, man. But no, that's and again, man. And all this stuff is related, man. Like I said, it's just one of those things where me personally, by going through it, it's one thing to talk about it, but man, just having that mindset in your life where you can see an individual and just coach them up. You're like, hey, look, man, this is not the end. And
Yeah.
I mean, and what I've shared, man, is only a fraction of my life. Like, I mean, I lost my mom when I was 10, never had a father figure, a father in the home. Now I was born with spinal meningitis, which if you do any research on that, it's a miracle that I'm even walking today.
Mm-hmm.
But I say all that to say everybody has their unique story, right? But you got to make your story work for you, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
because either your story can be that book that nobody wants to read because it's a sad ending, right? Or it could be that book where, man, this guy started from the bottom, man. Look at him now. And
Mm-hmm.
again, that's not always money, attached to money, but it's like, man, I know his background.
Mm-hmm.
And how is he still here? I have no clue,
Mm-hmm.
type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen the opposite with friends and family on you got that one cousin that you talk to all the time. They complain every time you get on the phone with them. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, I'm going to let you go now.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna go over here real quick.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But
And
no,
even
man,
even that
it's
like the underdog story, like that's something that you look for in movies. I mean, I think one exception, there's probably a couple, but one that comes to mind, you just mentioned it, Black Panther, right? Like that's one where it's a rare case where the hero is already like the hero, comes from a good family, well off, comes a hero, and you still build that connection. But majority of
yeah.
the stories, it's got to be a Goku, for example. It's got to be a Rocky. It's got to be somebody who had jack squat and
Yeah.
work their way up, fall into circumstance, and they answer the call when it's needed.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. They make the best stories. I
Mm-hmm.
still watch Rocket to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I'm a kid in a candy store with nostalgia, man, every
Yeah.
time it comes on.
Yeah.
That's another reason to tag you, man, because
Yeah.
you talked about those action figures, man, and
Yeah.
you pulled up the Skeletor the other day,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah. Look, right on cue, man. Look
Yeah.
at this. Look at this guy. Look, Dolph Lundgren might not been the best He-Man ever, but
But he
I
was
really
ours.
enjoyed
He
exactly.
was ours.
I
You
love
know,
I like that. He
it's
was ours.
funny. It's funny you say that because the He-Man to match that figure. So they have the line of He-Man figures that come out, and there's ones that are based on the current cartoon. I don't know if it's coming back for another season, but the current one, most recent one, and then there's the one that's more based on like the comics and the lore of He-Man, which is this one, the Masterverse line. I have
Yeah.
to double check what it's
Yeah.
called, but the Dolph Lundgren counterpart to this figure, the head sculpt looks awful. It looks absolutely terrible. It's in one of my toy hunting shorts, and
Yeah.
it turns out he didn't sign off on it. He didn't sign off on his likeness on this the figure that came out with this one, and I'm like,
Uh.
y'all better pay him whatever the hell it cost to get his likeness on that figure, because it's the only
Yeah.
reason it's not selling is because you look at it and you're just
Yeah.
like, that ain't Dolph Lundgren. It's wild. It's wild.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, look, I do, like I say, man, some of the best times of my life, man, is watching that and all the 80s nostalgia, man.
Mm-hmm.
And small plug, but we have a t-shirt, we call it a Grind 1984 shirt.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
I had that one.
it is a strict, you know, a straight play from the 80s. The
Mm-hmm.
Kodak colors with the yellow, red, and Polaroid, McDonald's, that whole 80s deal, you know, it definitely, yep,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. Was strictly from nostalgia.
Yeah.
I saw a shirt, I was like, man, I love the 80s. So
Mm-hmm.
we went with it. Right. So
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love
yeah,
that.
man.
I feel like we're due for a new He-Man, but it's hard. I feel like I don't trust some of these studios anymore with the properties. But Black Panther 2, I was shocked that I loved it because I was just like, hey,
Uh-huh.
like directors made some money now. Disney saw how much money the last one made, but
Yeah.
even without Chadwick, I was shocked at how good that movie ended up
Yeah.
coming out.
Man, I like the way they did it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of hit all of the all the ideas that I had that they were going to do with the sister and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
like that, because one thing I was afraid of is I knew anybody with any common sense wouldn't have done it, but everybody was talking about, man, will they bring Killmonger back some way,
Right.
somehow?
Right.
And they played it perfect the way
Yeah.
they introduced him or the role he played.
The role he played.
But but to be honest with you, and I'm almost, I guess, a little fanboy, but in Baku, man, he was my favorite
Yeah.
part of the movie, man.
Winston Duke,
Like,
that's
'cause
his name. I was just thinking. I just
Winston
came to
Duke.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But Winston Duke, man, dude, I hope some way somehow he gets a spinoff from this deal.
Mm-hmm.
Not to venture off too far from the Black Panther, but man, he has a presence when
Yeah.
he's on the screen. Like I'm glued, man. Like you know, I just I like his character in the second one, man. So it was awesome.
Yeah. In case anybody was forgetting, this is who we're talking about. Winston Duke right here.
Yeah.
I do want. I'm down for that. I'm down for more of a story with him. I think the only thing the only two issues I have with him and with Killmonger, I'm like, you shouldn't have killed him anyway. Like he should have stuck. Like I was so mad when I saw that.
Yeah.
But they could bring him back. I mean, if anybody watched What If, the cartoon series,
Yep.
there is another universe Killmonger
Where
that's
he's
still alive. So,
Yep.
they could do something and bring him back. Sorry, my cable here was bothering me. They could do some crazy stuff and bring him back. But then when it comes to Winston Duke as M'Baku, I wanted him to be more Vegeta-ish, where it's like he's bad, like he's a bad man, but he'll do good things if he has to. But like, don't get it twisted. He still wants the crown, And in this one, they kind of allude to him still being in the running, and maybe he'll. Did he actually get it at the end? I can't remember if they were like.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Yeah.
Because his sister didn't come back. She basically gave it to him.
Right.
Nobody wanted to fight him. So,
right.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to for him to still have like that bad nature to him. But I was like, I was still fine with it. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's still at the end of the day Disney. They're still gonna do that. But I was like, I want some more of an edge to him. But still good. Still good.
I mean, and I agree. I mean, that made him who he is in the first one, right?
Right.
The whole scene. Are you done?
Yeah.
I get a kick out of that.
I love that.
Are you done? I would not help you. So.
Yeah.
But no, man. I like the Black Panther, man. I do want to get your take on, where you think the where Marvel is going, right?
Yeah.
I know Ant-Man will be coming out, what, 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. Just get your take on everything, man, because we've been so spoiled, with all the other movies, man. But what do you think? What?
So it's funny. I actually pulled up something because I was going to talk about another movie, but they're all connected. They're all connected.
Right.
All these actors are crisscrossing and stuff.
Yeah.
So the next big bad guy that I was talking about him today at work, I was like, this dude, as long as the contracts are right, he's making all the money this year because he's the bad guy in Creed. He's the bad guy in the MCU going forward. And that is Jonathan Majors. And he was also, he was in another movie about being a pilot in like World War II.
Devotion.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, this guy's coming out of nowhere, out of absolutely nowhere. This guy is like the it guy of this year. Him as Kang the Conqueror, I don't know where they're going, but I also don't think they know where they're going, all because of Loki. Like the way that Loki ran. Did you see it, by the way? Were you able to watch all of Loki? Okay. So the way that they explained multiverse and the way that they were like, oh, we found him at the end of time, He Who Remains, and killing him caused these fissures that caused multiverse. I was fine with that. Like that version of it, the whole concept that like he's the ultimate version of Kang that kept all the other versions like obsolete. I was fine with all of that. But then the other movies, like Spider-Man doing its own version of how the multiverse comes about, and Doctor Strange doing its own thing, that's where I'm confused. I'm like, well, all right, like,
which one is it?
Which one is it? Like, what is the proper method to all of this madness? I'm all for the idea of multiverse because I do like the idea of, we can grab Killmonger, somebody who died, we can bring him back in. We could bring back in. I was thinking about remember his name. I was just talking about him the other day too. The bad guy in the beginning of Civil War that he got crushed in the building at the end of Winter
Oh,
Soldier.
uh,
It was like
Crossbone.
Crossbones. Yeah, I was like, you could
Yeah,
bring him back for the hell of it. You could do all sorts of crazy things. Um,
yeah.
but because of the way the movies have been going, the fact that Black Panther 2 had nothing to do with any of this stuff. What If kind of did, but not really. I'm like, do you guys know what the storyline is? Like, what's the overall concept here? Because all the other movies, even though they were all over the place, the one common thread were the Infinity Stones. The stones
Correct.
were like in every thread of every franchise. But here, I'm like, I don't see whatever it is you're saying the threat is. So we'll see. But I have no idea. I feel like somebody's breaking into your car.
I know. It's one of my daughter's friends.
Nice. Hello, friend. But I don't know. Are you excited for all of it, or you're kind of like iffy on it? Where are you at?
See, I think I've become that one.
Oh, did he freeze?
I still got
Oh,
you still got me?
oh, yeah, you're back.
Yeah. No, I
Mhm.
was just saying I'm the type I'm gonna go see it anyway.
Right,
Whatever
right.
they put out, I don't want to miss anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, seeing some of the last movies, I mean, like the last Doctor Strange movie was just okay to me,
Right,
right? So it almost became almost like it should have been a Wonder movie. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
a
right.
Scarlet Witch movie versus, a Doctor Strange movie. So
Mm-hmm.
that makes me nervous a little bit, but at the same time, it's still Marvel,
Right.
right? They'll find some way to make it right, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I am disappointed because man, I've been waiting for the new Blade for a while, and
Oh,
I know
ain't
they're
coming.
having some. I know, I know. So that's that's one nail in the coffin, right? You know, so I mean, I'm excited because, like I say, it's a thing that we do as a family. We go see these movies, but I'm not excited like I was
Right.
in the phase one, phase two,
Yeah.
type deal.
Yeah.
So man,
No, it's hard, and I'm telling you, where is it here? I'm telling you, Sam Raimi made another movie with a Book of Evil and zombies. Yeah, like he just did Sam Raimi, and it worked. They let him. I feel like they gave him some liberties with the movie that otherwise they probably would have stopped people. Um, but I'm like, they're great. They're great to watch. They may not be great movies, but I need something to hit as hard as Iron Man 1. I need something to hit as
yeah,
hard
yeah.
as Winter Soldier, Civil War, Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok. Like, give us some of those good movies. I feel like it's hard. It's hard for them because they're all over the place, and I don't know who to blame. It
I'm
could
a,
be the actors for all we know.
I'm gonna make you think about something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just seen this the other day. Anthony Mackie, that plays Falcon,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I don't know if you saw this, but I think he summed it up great. But he's like, we're going to see, like when Iron Man 1 came out, we wanted to see Iron Man, but we also want to see Robert Downey play Iron Man,
Yeah.
right? Um, Even the first Thor, we want to see Thor, but we want to see Chris Hemsworth play Thor. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He said the way Marvel is now, they've taken that away from the actor, and you want to see these characters now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So even though we're going to see the movie, it's kind of like, and this is sad, but it's kind of like it don't matter who they put in there now.
Correct.
You know, we're going to go see it anyway because
Correct.
of the lure of the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping, like even like the Wolverine, we want to see Wolverine, but we want to see Hugh Jackman
Yeah.
play Wolverine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but it's not like that anymore, right? I think a prime example, and I'm gonna jump, comics a little bit.
Yeah. Jump away.
DC.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody and their mom wants to see Henry Cavill as Superman,
Yes.
but the studio knows you guys gonna come see whoever we put in
Yeah.
that role.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm get afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of with the Marvels and the DCs. Is kind of like you mentioned it yourself. Which universe is it?
Yeah.
In their mind, they're like, it doesn't matter what universe, because you guys gonna come see it
You're gonna
anyway.
come see
You
it.
know. So right,
Mm-hmm.
right. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that makes sense.
Oh, for sure. And
Yeah, yeah.
who else said it too was Tarantino, Quentin Tarantino. He was on I think it was on Howard Stern, and he brought that up. And he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, like they like Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is like a classic example where they took somebody who relatively a nobody. Like I know
Yeah.
him from God, what Nora from Queens, the show with Aquafina, who she's in that movie. I know him from that show, and he was in something else. He ends up working. It might have been the same show. No. Kim's Convenience, I think. He works at a rental car place or something. So I know him from like those two things. But you know, they take somebody who's kind of like not really popular, throw him into his character, and they're like, just go. And it can work at times, but now they're at a point where it's like you gotta really be bringing in people who are gonna like kill it on the acting side. They can't just be a pretty face.
Yeah.
Can't just be good at martial arts or whatever, or good at stunt acting. Like they have to be a good actor as well. And that's where you said it, like Henry Cavill, like good actor, great in Superman. I hate the movie. I don't hide that, but I still want him. He's still my current live action Superman. So I still want to see it.
You didn't like the first one either?
Oh man, this is a whole running thing here on maybe behind the scenes more so, but oh man, Man of Steel, I can't get through that.
In the chat who else in the chat agrees with that.
Go ahead. I stand alone on that throne. It's
Okay.
I stand. I'm a broken man. I'm a broken man on that throne of a Man of Steel hater, but I still like Henry Cavill. Like I still liked Batman vs Superman, the Snyder cut. Love that movie. Absolutely love that movie.
Yeah.
I think Ben Affleck when you talk about live action Batman, Robert Pattinson was cool, but I still rather see Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, still rather see that.
Yeah.
So Marvel's got to really say like, hey, maybe we cut down the CGI, maybe we cut down on the spectacle of it all. Just give us good storytelling, good actors and actresses, and let it roll, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they have the power to. I don't know if they have it in them to do that.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's like anything. If we can cut corners on budget, with actors, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, so.
But it's at a point
no,
too.
man,
like, have you seen any other movies recently that are not like the blockbuster style? Like, have you gone for just a regular release, or is it just those kind?
You talking about far as like a Marvel or just a regular?
Right. Like, have you like?
I mean, I've seen Top Gun.
Well, not that. So, like, have you gone to the theater for not like the blockbuster thing, like not a Top Gun, not a superhero movie, not a Abyss or not Abyss, Avatar?
No, I can't say I have. I can't say I have.
And I think they know that.
But I'm a stickler. I'm a stickler. I mean, for me to go to the movies, it has to be that type of movie. Right. Because I mean, even like a Transformers, even though it's not the greatest of movies, I want to see that with a lot of, the sound has to be right, the picture has to be right. So, I'm that type of person. So,
yeah, no, for sure, and that's, I think they realize that, and they're afraid to do something different because they don't want to give you a reason to be like, I'll wait till it's on TV, but
exactly.
But they got to figure it out. I think it always goes back to Daredevil. Daredevil, Netflix, 3 seasons of the best live action superhero show to me. And there's no reason for that to be on the big screen. Keep them there. She-Hulk, you had an entire community of nerds literally wait through an entire show to get to one episode with Daredevil. And it's like, you have to understand that you don't need the blockbuster type explosions to get us. If the story's good enough, we'll go see it. But make it for TV. Just make it for TV. Figure out a way to really monetize that thing, and you'll get us.
I agree.
Oh,
You know, I guess they're catering to the masses. I guess
yeah.
We people like you and I, you know, and the fellow nerd affiliated, you know, it's just certain things that we like that we're going to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll watch it anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we're probably going to be the biggest critics. Right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So just make us happy. You can make us happy. You can make everybody happy, right? So.
Well, hey, you know what? Let's go back a couple steps. Is Creed 3 a movie that you're going to rush to see in the theaters, or you think you're going to just hold out until it's home release?
I'm headed to the theaters. I'm headed to the theater, man.
Is it because you're that
All
big of a
because of
fan
what
of
you said
Creed,
earlier.
or is it like more supporting the actors in the movie, or is it a mix?
The actors in the movie. You just called his name. The new actor,
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man. When I saw the trailer with him in it, I was like, oh my, hey, yeah, I'm going to the theater.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect example because I did a little research on the whole Creed deal prior to. Now, I know in the first one, Sylvester Stallone was, helped write it, him and Michael B. Jordan and what's the guy that wrote the Black Panther?
Ryan Coogler.
Yeah. I didn't know they had a disagreement, and Sylvester Stallone walked away from the second one. Right? No, is it the second one, or he didn't sign off on the third one?
The third one.
But he's not affiliated with the third one at all.
No.
Right? So again, let's go back to nostalgia. Man, Rocky 4, Rocky 3, Rocky 2, man, he got me all day, right? But they lost me in Creed 2, but again, I want to see the actor in Creed 3, so they might gain a fan back.
Yeah.
Because I definitely like what Majors is presenting in the trailer, right?
He's a Clubber Lang.
One of my favorite characters.
He's a Clubber Lang.
Yep.
Volume 2.
You took the words right out of my mouth, man. I'm looking for Clubber Lang Part 2, man. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it's gonna have that new vibe, that
new swagger.
2000, 2020 vibe to it. I'm excited. I'm going to the theater to see that one.
Yeah.
But I tell you this, I take that back. I'm sorry. I apologize. I see Majors again in a devotion movie.
Oh, you did see it?
I went and saw that. Right?
Was it good?
So yes, it was really
Nice.
good, really, really good. So, yeah,
nice. And that one, I mean, that one actor, he's coming off Top Gun in he's doing another plane movie in that one. But when you watch the trailer with all the dog fighting and everything, it's like, all right, this might be more enjoyable in theaters versus at home. But I think that one I'm gonna wait, but I may. Creed may come first before that one, as far as me seeing Jonathan Majors on screen.
Yeah, but understandable because like when I've seen it, it was off of the vibe of the Top Gun movie.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Because one of the characters in there, played in the Top Gun movie.
The Iceman equivalent. I can't remember his name, but he's in it.
Yep. Yeah. So.
So talk to me, before we wrap it in 10, 15, talk to me about, you were asking me about collecting and stuff, and you've kind of alluded to it before. Are there certain things that are kind of grabbing your attention that you want to go for? Are you afraid to dip your toe at all? Because, it can get pricey at times because you grab one and you're grabbing them all,
Which is every bad hobby, right? It gets expensive, right?
Yeah.
We was talking earlier about bourbons, man. I was just talking to one of the parents on the team here, man. He's a big bourbon fan, and he showed me one of his friends' collections. Oof. He had, I think, probably 10 bottles of $1,200 bourbon. I was like, nah, I can't do that. So, but no, man. The reason I mentioned it is first was my son and I are both into like anime, right?
Right.
We've been on the Dragon Ball Z kick
Love
the
it.
longest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Been buying. So me as a novice, which is why I asked you this,
Mm-hmm.
I would go to Walgreens or like a CVS,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll see these characters, that's not an arm and leg, it's $20, something like
Right.
that.
Right.
And I'm like, I get them. Some last, some don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now he's not the type that keep it in the box, and he's
Yep.
gonna play with it, right?
Yep.
Um, but at the same time, this past Christmas, he's been on the wow, Hero Academia,
Oh yeah.
right? And his favorite character is Deku,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
So I was looking for a Deku character. I got him one of the I forget what they're called, but the ones with the large heads.
Oh, like a
Um,
Funko.
yeah, I got him. I was looking for one of those, but they had one that was twice the size, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was awesome. Yeah, there he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I got him that, but they had an Endeavor character or an Endeavor figure,
Mm-hmm.
and it just felt different. Like I was like, man, this thing is put together. I was holding it and looking at who made it and all kind of things, man. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when I reached out to you because I also paid. I don't even think I feel comfortable saying this, but $50 for like a
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z uh transformation number 4
Oh,
Goku.
Super Saiyan level 4. Yep.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
it was falling apart, and I was like, this
Mm-hmm.
is a big difference from the two, right? So
Yeah.
because I do look to start putting some in my man cave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple that like the Ninja Turtles from the 80s. I
Yep.
gotta have all 4,
Mm-hmm.
but I need to know where to find them and what to look for. So,
Yep.
but it's a two-parter, man. It's for my son and for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a couple different things there. I put up that's Endeavor, the guy you were talking about there. Um,
Yep.
so there's a couple different levels to it, right? The $50 range, it can come at times depending on the figure, depends on the brand. I don't know if Patrick's in the comments anymore, but he's currently Know Your Craft. He's buying actually Craft Collects is his separate toy collecting Instagram.
Okay.
He's big into this company called Mafex. And Mafex are similar to SH Figure Arts. SH Figure Arts makes probably the better Dragon Ball Z figures.
Nice.
And with this and with the Mafex, this is SH Figure Arts. Mafex is a different company. With the two, you'll pay more for the figure, but they'll get you with the accessories, right? So like this Krillin, he comes with, what was that 3? No, yeah, he has 4 faces all together, 4 different head sculpts, probably 7, 8 different hands. One of them is just carrying a bag of Zenzo beans. So like when you're paying that $40 or $50 for it, you're getting a good amount of stuff. But then you flip that to like a Hasbro or Mattel, or you'll get like the one figure, right? So like if I was to grab Wolverine back there, Wolverine or Spider-Man, they came with just the figure. Maybe there's a different head and like an extra set of hands. The battle right now with them is, I feel like that's like high-end 22, but they're trying to get greedy and they're trying to charge like 35 for acting like they're like this kind of company, and they're not.
Right.
Now, you mentioned the Turtles. The Turtles come from a company called NECA. They have the license to majority of the stuff. There's a couple other companies, but NECA makes the movie accurate ones. And
Okay.
those, the 2 packs are like, I think 49, so 25 a figure. And you get a bunch of hands. You probably just get one head sculpt, but you get a bunch of hands, weapons, other little accessories like from the movie. So those, you don't feel as bad spending the $50 on a 2 pack. You don't, over time, you don't feel as bad spending the $50 on that figure with a bunch of different heads and all that stuff. But it's the Hasbro stuff that gets a little iffy because they're getting kind of crazy on there. Um,
Yeah.
all that to say, I'll send you a link at the end. I think there's still some turtles out there on the Walmart website. You might be able to get them still at retail.
Hmm.
But you know, I'm a big Amazon guy. Like lately, I'm cruising Amazon all the time, and
Yeah.
I'm buying a lot of stuff once it's in clearance. You know, like if it's a figure that you want, you see it, and it just came out, like hold out, it'll get on clearance at some point. But if it's an older figure,
Right.
you're probably gonna have to pay a little bit more for it. That's not uncommon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That's good info, man. That's good
yeah.
info. Like I said, you know, just thinking back to some of the things you released, as far as like I think you were looking at that at some point. I think maybe last year sometime.
Mm-hmm.
April O'Neil.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, and you were just going through it, and we had the same taste. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
the '80s coming out or what,
Yeah.
but even with the everything with Tommy, man, here recently,
Mm-hmm.
man, I
Mm-hmm.
was telling my son like, because I don't know if you guys remember, but McDonald's used to be the place to go for figures, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yep.
I just remember one of the first toys I had was like not one of the first toys, but
Right.
one of the ones I really liked
A staple.
was right when he had the white tiger, um back in McDonald's, came with the McDonald's deal or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and that's when the
The
Red
movie came
Ranger
out.
was the dragon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm like, I just remember those days, man. And I was a big Batman collector when I was young, right?
Yep.
I had the one that swims, I had the one that flies, I had the one with the bike,
Yeah.
and so you just want to get a few of those things, man. That's it. That's it. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. 1995.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. That is it. That's it.
Yep. And this is a good deal, all things considering. $45, you get all that minus the Black Ranger.
Yeah.
Not terrible. Um,
Dude, I remember that, man. I had all of those, man. So
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I think I
Nostalgia's
think
in.
the Red Ranger. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I was just saying nostalgia's in, but continue.
Yeah. No, I was just saying. I think the Red Ranger was the dragon right before when he was the gorilla. I
Yeah.
think the dragon was right before that
It was they made it
or
confusing
after.
for us because
Yeah.
the movie and the TV show didn't connect as far as like a universe
Right.
goes. So in the
Right. Right.
movie, they
Right.
released the gorilla for the Red Ranger, um, and then everybody else I think was the same. But then in the TV show, when they got into the Thunder Megazords, he had the Red
Yeah.
Dragon Zord,
Right.
and then at that point, the White Ranger I think was a Tiger Zord. Legacy of Nerd, he can correct because he's the Power Ranger Pro here, and so can Steve if he's still here. But yeah, the Red Dragon Zord was from the TV show version. The gorilla was from the movie version, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds right. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, but no, man. Those are some of the things whenever you know I want to add to the collection, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers from my era.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel so bad because every time my son turned on the Power Rangers, I was like, man, it's so many now. I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just like, man, come on, man.
Yep.
And I almost call it these not even real Power Rangers, man. It's like, they don't even know karate, so but no, man, that's some of the things I want to get into. Share that nostalgia with my son. So
Mm-hmm. No, and right now, like, there's still a good amount of stuff on the Hasbro site at a decent price.
did I lose you?
Um, oh, are you still there? Can you hear us?
Can you
Hello.
hear me?
Yeah, hear you. I heard the
I think I lost you.
yeah something happened with the mic. I heard it in my headphones when the door opened up. Let's see. I'll send him a message real quick. Let's see. But yeah, Hasbro, they're doing a new line for a lot of you, in case you don't know, where sorry, let me just tell them.
How about now?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear us? Oh, hear us? Hello. You'll come back. We'll figure it out. So Hasbro's doing their own kind of like re-release of figures. It's a remastered line. Let's see. Can you hear us?
Yes, I got you.
Nice. Yes, when the door opened, I heard something happen with the audio, like it switched. But you're back.
Okay.
Nice.
Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're good. So like Hasbro right now, they're doing a remastered line, and for the original Mighty Morphin Wave, and this is their attempt to kind of be similar to what I was showing you before, where it's like you get a whole bunch of accessories, different head sculpts for the price. I think if you're getting into Power Rangers and you don't have anything, if you do want figures from the original show, this is a good entry point. $33 to get, all the different blasters, the morpher, the effects. It's good. Because for $10 less, you'll get a figure that like the paint isn't as good and doesn't have as many weapons for sure, but you can still find some of the older stuff on here. This is a great figure. I think everybody, if you're remotely a Power Ranger fan, buy this figure. $22 for this. Considering how good the head sculpt is and the likeness to him, I think that's a must grab for that price.
Like they killed it with the hair.
Yeah. It's a great figure. Absolutely great figure.
Nice.
And we're not gonna get from what I see, we're not gonna get a lot of other Tommy figures where the head sculpt looks that good with him,
right?
Signing off on it. And Legacy, he co-signed what I was saying. The price is fair on the remastered. Yeah, I struggle with the remastered figures because I already have all the Rangers. So it's like, do I want to spend another X amount of dollars to get a duplicate figure that is better than what I have, but I already have it,
Right.
Yeah, 22 is a steal in there. So I would cruise, here on Hasbro for some things. Don't, anything over 25, maybe a little iffy, but definitely if there's a figure you see on here and you're like, oh, that's dope, type it into Amazon and type it in on Target to see if they're charging less, because there's a chance.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Noted. I appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking to get on that journey, man. So
let me see if I can find you. Are these still on here? Let's go to the Walmart real quick before we call it an episode. Tell me real quick though, what's the bourbon of choice? You said you're getting into bourbons. What are you going for?
So the recent one, man, that is one called Penelope.
Okay.
Really, really good. Elijah Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Angel's Envy.
Ooh, Angel's Envy is good.
Oh yeah. And that's that. I guess that's the 3 top right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, man, I'm open, man. It's just like recently I've been exposed to like the tequilas and stuff like that, man. It's just my palate is just leaning towards bourbon. I'm just being honest,
I feel you.
I've tried some rye, but it is not the same.
Yeah.
So it was not the same. So
I feel you on that for sure.
If anybody that's watching right now, if you guys are remotely close to bourbon drinkers and would like to, I should try this, please let me know. It's just one of the things, man, I dabble with, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
So
Angel's Envy, that's a good one. That's one of the top ones if I'm feeling good and I want to get something to treat myself. Get some Angel's Envy. Basil Hayden is another one.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Grab some of that.
Yep.
Usually I'm drinking either Hudson Whiskey Rye, Hudson Whiskey New York, or Basil Hayden. Those are usually the 2 that I have here behind the scenes, if you would.
What about Mark?
Makers is good. Makers is the one I'll buy makers if we are going somewhere, like let's say we're at a wedding, right? And it's like, oh, we got to buy something for the room so that if people want to come hang out, we can like share it and all that stuff. That's makers. If I'm going to a
Okay.
party, I'll buy makers because
Okay.
I don't mind leaving that behind. But everything else, everything else is like, oh, that's for me.
I'm taking this with me, guys.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I did want to show you real quick. So on the Walmart website, unfortunately, the 2-packs from the second movie are currently being sold at flipper prices. This is double what they normally cost. So Walmart sold out of their stock of the 2-packs from the movie. But if I scroll up, because all of these are great figures, but these are all the flipper price. Like somebody's trying to make a profit. But if I scroll up, these, I'm not this is a GameStop figure because it says it here on the box. GameStop had these as solos at $40 a pop. You're paying a flipper price, but if you feel like it, you can go for that price. That's not terrible. This was my very first. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse actually.
I can see it.
You see it. This was my first NECA 2-pack I bought. This was the first one I found online for retail, and it's from the scene where they meet each other in the park. Great 2-pack. If you just want to get started with turtles, I think this is an essential one. It comes with the Jose Canseco bat. Like, it's just dope. But you can see what I mean. Like, for essentially $30 a figure, you get all these accessories. You get the coat. You get all these weapons and stuff. Like, it's dope. So there's NECA. The one thing I'll say about NECA, they make the best head sculpts for some of the best figures, but they're hard to get. The NECA ones you spend a little bit more effort trying to get because they don't stock them on their website either. But everything else, relatively easy to get. If you're ever in doubt, let me know and I'll tell you what's a good price for whatever it is you're looking for.
Will do, man. The other thing I need to get with, man, is, I saw you give a shout out to the all the content creators on YouTube.
And that's
that's going to be the next chapter in the whole grind legacy deal, man. You told me for 2 years I needed to do it, so it's going to happen this year, man. Something is going to happen this year. So
we'll set up a time. We'll set up a time so we can talk that through because you were mentioning you wanted to do that.
Exactly.
But you got so many people in this chat that they know the game, they know how to do it, they make dope stuff, all different kinds of stuff. So don't be afraid to reach out to them too. If you see somebody doing something dope that you like, go for it. Just because he's on my screen right now, Legacy of Nerd, he has a newborn. Congratulations to him, of course, as we say the last couple weeks. But he's like, he'll be like, I got 10 minutes, something just happened, I'm just gonna whip out my phone, record it, and that's the YouTube video. So, and they come out great. So don't feel like it's always got to be this, high production. I got this great mic and all this stuff. If anything, just get your headphones that you listen to music or whatever that plugs into your phone, or if they're Bluetooth, use that. Because the mics on the phones on their own are usually pretty rough when it comes to this. But connect some headphones, record some stuff, and then just dump it on YouTube. You used to do those talks in the sauna on a YouTube Live or Instagram Live. Yeah. I don't know if Instagram saves those automatically on your phone. I can't remember.
They do.
Yeah. You can just post those on YouTube, and once you start becoming like routine with it, if you can make it so like once a week you're like, oh, I'm uploading a video maybe every Wednesday, every Friday, whatever it is. People get used to that and they start to know to come back to your channel on certain days for stuff. But then most importantly, the algorithm knows that you're routine and it starts to push your stuff towards other people.
Nice. Appreciate that wisdom.
Yeah.
And that's an awesome name. Is it Legacy Nerd
The
that he
legacy of
has?
Nerd.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know,
His story is similar to yours. It's similar to yours. He's like, I want to create a legacy. And it's funny. You guys, 2 ships, same direction, just fog in between. Didn't know the other one was there, and literally have the same message. And I love that.
you know who was there? Archer was there.
I love that. I want to hit up one question I saw. I didn't want you to think I missed you, Josh. He was asking about the McFarlane figures. And I like the McFarlane figures to an extent. I love what he's doing. That dude pumps out a new wave of something that feels like every single month. Like, let me before we end the show here, let's see. Oops, I can't spell. So Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn, he's got the DC, the rights to it, and he's pumping out stuff. It feels like every month there's a new wave, new stuff coming out. Great line. Some of my first figures were McFarlane. I grabbed a Red Hood. I grabbed a Batman, a Superman, and it's a lot of good stuff. The only issue with McFarlane, I think, is I feel like he at times makes too many variants of things. But maybe I'm just not that into DC anymore. I don't know what that issue is, but like his Red Hood figure was amazing. Like this Grifter here, this is a great figure. Grifter was in Wildcats. We talked about that one week.
Yeah. Yeah.
He can't, unfortunately, include guns with his figures anymore because DC doesn't let him. So let me see if I get McFarlane. Let's see if I go to the website. So he makes now huh?
No, I was just saying they need to bring Wildcats back or redo it.
Yes,
I'll watch it.
For sure. They definitely need to do that. Let me see. Can I find?
Yeah.
How do you spell munitions? I can't even spell for shit. He makes a gun pack, a munitions pack, I think it's called. I don't know how to spell. But it's essentially a pack that just has a bunch of guns in them that are all designed to fit figures like Grifter that he can't include guns anymore with. But you could see, like, he makes good stuff. I just haven't been picking up. Oh, here we go. Toy Store. Oh, I thought this was a website. This is not the website. Can I get there? Here we go. Yes. So, like even these, like this is verbatim from the comic series, from the Dark Knight's Metal series, Last Night on Earth series. So they're great figures. I'm just not that tied to that story to want to buy these figures. Like, for me, I'm like, give me, he called it something different. It wasn't an animated series. It was like, let's see if it pops up. But they're all sold out too. Or like this one here from like the game, the Arkham Knight. Like he comes with a grapple gun, but if you buy the munitions pack, it's a gun that comes for that.
Okay.
Like here, like this stuff. Like I want stuff that is straight from like my series that I watched. So yeah. I don't care about the other stuff. Just give me Batman and animated series things.
Yeah.
And he does cool stuff like this. Like Red Hood was never in the animated series, but he made an animated series version of Red Hood. I would buy that. So right. McFarlane does good stuff too. I just think he makes too many variants that people don't want, and that's why they shelf form. They're in stores at all times, on massive clearance. Nobody's buying them. But every so often he hits one out of the park and people go like crazy for it.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry for my long
Good
rant
deal.
on that.
Oh, no. That's what the
Um,
people need to hear.
exactly. As people were probably laughing at me trying to spell munitions on I'll
Hey,
pull it up.
everybody has that one.
Go ahead.
Everybody has that one word.
Yeah, exactly. Here it is. I found it. Munitions pack. So like this is the second version. It comes with all these guns, and they're all made to scale to fit the DC figures and to fit the Spawn figures that may not have guns as well. So,
Nice.
yeah. All right. Anything you want to plug before we call this another lovely episode?
The only thing I'm asking everybody today, man, is head over to Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and follow grind_legacy 2.0.
2.0.
Please, 2.0 on there. Unfortunately, a few months ago, I got hacked.
Ugh.
But hey, failure is necessary, right? So
Yep.
start from scratch. Got the formula now. So I want to give a shout out to my daughter. That's the one that's in volleyball right now. So that's our new pigment dye sweatshirts. Ping me if you like it. It's not on the website yet, but it's exclusively at the at the gym Body Language that has our gear. But if you see anything on the website, we can get it for you, no problem. But again, and I appreciate you having me on, and it's always a pleasure, man. It's almost like a place where you can go and just be you. I hate to sound like old Cheers intro.
It's a
But you
place
go,
where everybody
everybody
knows your
knows
name.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad I came back, so man, it's always good. It's always a pleasure, man. If you guys need any motivation, if you guys need anything, man, follow the page. We do a couple of things. We do the sauna talks. Basically me after the gym, man, I get inspired. I'm not saying every time, but I get inspired to give some wisdom. And I basically share, my life lessons, basically.
Mm-hmm.
We also have the grind feature, which I think Archer was a part of a while back, man, where people that's just doing it, everyday people, just living their lives, man, trying to do the best they can. So they leave some nuggets, man, every single time. So you can follow us there at grind_legacy 2.0 and get some good information. So
Love that. And next time that you're on the show, I don't care what you say, we're gonna be plugging your YouTube channel as well.
that's right. That's right.
Everybody heard it. It's out there in the universe now. Grind Legacy, the YouTube channel coming soon. Because if you're not gonna make it, I'm just gonna make it. I'm gonna call myself Dwight. I'm gonna make the Grind Legacy because the world needs a Grind Legacy YouTube channel. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
HeyArcher Live every Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. Monday morning, 9 o'clock. I was going to say 9:30. 9 o'clock Eastern, we have Nerdy Coffee where we sit back, relax, drink some coffee, no other stuff, just coffee, and we talk about the prior week's news and shows and all that stuff. Down below, you have links to Grind Legacy, links to nerdaffiliated.com, links to join the Nerd Foundation, join the membership, become one of us. You guys are all one of us. We're all nerds in this together, and we'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. We're out of here. I forgot one thing. I forgot to say it. I'm back real quick. In the comments, Royal Rumble is this Saturday. Let me know who you want to run out in the Royal Rumble. They may not actually, but if you have to pick somebody who's coming out for the Royal Rumble, give me your thoughts down below in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. Talk to you in the next one.